Do you guys remember a while back when Valve and Bethesda tried to make paid mods a whole deal on Steam? I was going to say on YouTube there, on Steam. Yeah, I remember that, and I remember it failing and flopped within like 48 hours, possibly even less. But let's just say I remember that. The internet remembers that, and the internet never forgets. It seems Bethesda have already completely forgotten about that. So, what's up everyone, it's Q from Retro Q Gaming, and last night, or early this morning, depending on your time zone, Bethesda had their lackluster E3 conference, where they announced a pretty mediocre lineup of, well, stuff that no one really cares about, with the exception of Wolfenstein. That got a pretty decent reception, but everything else was mediocre at best. So there was two huge criticisms when it comes to the press conference last night. Not even including the general overall low quality, if you will, or mediocrity of it, especially when it comes to Bethesda, someone who, you know, high holds in a pretty high regard most of the time. But one of them, which we've already addressed on a different video on the channel, is already done and dusted because of that. So let's look at their other main criticism and the other kind of fucked up thing that they've done. So Bethesda have announced the Bethesda Creation Club. Now what the Bethesda Creation Club is, it's essentially a process where we'll call them indie developers just for the sake of it. Let's say indie developers, they'll work with Bethesda, and Bethesda will also do some work themselves, and they'll release these paid curated content and this whatever we'll call a catalog and library of, well, let's face it, DLC. Now, DLC is being very nice about it, because what this is, at the end of the day, is paid mods. They're mods. The whole Creation Club, everything that goes into the Creation Club is a mod. It's that simple. You create a mod, you put it into the Creation Club or apply for it to go through the Creation Club, and then you sell it. You sell it using I won't call them in-game because that sounds wrong. You sell them through the game using special Bethesda currency, which obviously you're going to buy with real world money, and then you download them directly into your game. So Creation Club, which they have gone out of their way to say isn't paid mods, is mods that you pay for, but isn't paid mods. Does anyone else see the madness here? I mean, who in their right mind is going to be fooled by this? By the looks of the internet, no one. Because the internet is already up in arms and destroying them about this. Because, like I said, they went out of their way to say, this isn't paid mods. And then people would say, okay, it's not paid mods, but these are mods, right? Yeah. And we have to pay for them. Yeah. But it's not paid mods. So, what are they doing? Now, personally, I think this is going to flop. I think this is just going to belly flop hard. It's going to, I don't know, it's going to phase plant from a swan dive. Think Tomb Raider, original Tomb Raider style. PS1, that's the deal and the level we're talking here. You're walking up to a ledge, you're holding R1, you're jumping forward, swan dive, boom, straight into a brick floor. I was going to say brick wall, but that wouldn't make sense. So I think this is just absolutely retarded, and no one is going to fall for this. And like I said, by the looks of the internet, no one has fallen for this. It's absolutely insane, because they've tried it before, and now they're just trying to do it in a different way. They can say what they want about it. It's like, oh, well, some of our Bethesda team is doing our own work to release our own stuff on there. That's fine. Release that as paid DLC. That's fine. Paid mods, on the other hand. Now, you can argue what's the difference between a mod and a DLC. Realistically, when you have a huge company or a huge team working on something, usually of significant substance, it's generally considered DLC. So we'll look at it that way. But it depends on the size and the scope of even what the Bethesda stuff is, which again could be pretty small and pretty low. It begs to differ, or begs to ask the question: what is a mod, and why are they expecting us to pay for mods? It's madness. Now, I realize that Skyrim, a game which has lasted 6 years nearly at this point, simply because of mods and the amount of community-driven effort and community-driven content that has been put into Skyrim because of mods, has extended that game's life ridiculous amounts of times. Fallout 4 is probably the same way. It's obviously an extremely successful game, and chances are it's been hugely extended by its actual mods, especially considering that 5 of the 6 Fallout 4 DLCs, have been pretty lackluster. Fun fact, guys, it seems like lackluster is my word of the day, just for the sake of it. So let's throw it out there a few more times. Lackluster, 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 lackluster. Anyway, back to the actual point I'm making. So it's just crazy. Now, fair enough. I'll say this for the sake of it. Creation Club is going to be available on all 3 platforms that Fallout 4 is available on. It's coming to PC, it's coming to Xbox One, and it's coming to PS4. In the slightest way possible, I can understand this from the aspect of the consoles, specifically the PlayStation 4. The PlayStation 4, we all know, only allows mods using original in-game textures, files, sounds, etc. So you can basically only make new stuff out of existing stuff. Whereas on Xbox One and PC, you can literally make anything from scratch and just go from there. Now, when it comes to the Xbox One and the PS4 in this case, I can understand that the Creation Club will have these guidelines that they can work in, because this will all be official from Bethesda, who obviously make the game, and they'll be able to say, hey, we need to tone this down a little bit to get it to run properly on the Xbox. We need to replace this texture with a base game texture so it can run on the PS4. I can understand it from that point, but I still don't agree with it. I can understand one of the ways that it would come in beneficial to have Bethesda's hand in this kind of thing. But overall, paying for mods regardless of the platform, I think is absolutely ridiculous. Fallout 4 being my second most played game on Steam, I look forward to never buying a paid mod and never getting anything from the Bethesda Creation Kit. Sure, or Creation Club, I should say. Sure, when it actually launches later this summer, I'll turn it on and I'll probably look through it just to see how ludicrous it is and how absolutely madness than what they're trying to charge for the actual content they're trying to charge for. I'll take a quick look at it, probably have a laugh, probably make another video about it, but we'll see how that is, because that's a future queue problem. Anyway, let me know in the comment section below what you think about Bethesda trying paid mods that aren't paid mods that are paid for. It's so stupid. They're just trying to deceive people. Do you think it's noble? Do you think they're doing the right thing? Don't get me wrong, I'm not what's the word I'm looking for? I'm not adverse to mod creators making money. For example, I think it would be a great idea to say, I don't know, let's say you could include some of the best mods, you could submit mods on Steam, for example, and maybe if you go to the creator's page of a certain mod, maybe there's a donate button or something along the lines of that. So you can choose to donate to them and choose to support them and essentially pay for your mod if you want. I'm not adverse to mod creators making money, or you know what I'm trying to say here at least. It's just the way all this is handled, and it's absolute madness. Let me know in the comment section below what your thoughts on the whole situation is. The previous one where they tried it before and it got completely the shit kicked out of it and just shut down almost instantly. And let me know what you think about the Creation Club and how that's going to work, how that's going to last. Will you be supporting it, or what's the deal with it anyway? That's it for this video. This is Q from Retro Q. Whoa, why am I doing a different outro? That's weird. That just came to me naturally. That's strange. Anyway, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the rest of the videos in my channel.